Something that's been on my mind a lot lately is the fact that for some reason we keep treating artists as, like, essentially, unable to be criticized for some reason. Especially on spaces like Twitter and YouTube. I don't know why this is a thing. Like, any industry and anyone in an industry can be criticized. That's just kind of the reality of the situation. And I've seen a lot of weird shit kind of popping up on my timeline and, just in general about, like, art and artists online. So this video is just kind of us talking on stream a little bit about it. Because the entire situation just kind of sucks. And it feels like there's not really any winners because the artists are kind of shooting themselves in the foot. But also, likewise, like, I understand kind of where they're coming from. But at the same time, like, also as somebody who is a consumer who, like, actually does hire artists regularly, look at my fucking Fiverr profile. I work with a lot of people and I work with a lot of artists, so I feel like I do have some stock in, like, as somebody who's actually buying and looking for people to buy from. I do kind of know what somebody on the lower end of the economic spectrum, and by that I mean a broke bitch, is looking, or what we're looking for rather. Art might be a luxury item. But that also means I might not pay your 100% commercial markup, and in that case, where you could have made $100, you're now going to make $0. So. I was talking to Vivi about this a little bit, but it's been on my mind a lot lately, because now I'm suddenly seeing other people actually start complaining about it. So, do you guys know what VGEN is?
No.
So, you know what Fiverr is, right?
Yeah. Oh.
So,
okay, yes, now, yeah.
Yeah, so
VGEN
is basically like Fiverr alternative for like VTubers and hello Tempered Kongolala, what the fuck? Bye Tempered Kongolala.
You've always been able to buy VTube models and shit on Fiverr.
Yeah.
I don't know why VGEN is a thing.
Well, I'll explain why in a second. Cause I know the whole story around it. So the idea was obviously, they make this site or whatever for VTuber artists and whatnot, with kind of like the express idea that these are going to be streaming assets for the most part, right? They're going to be for content creators. But what a lot of these fucking artists do on VGEN is they, nice offset, they charge their, like, base price, right? Which, yeah, that's whatever. You have your base price. Definitely some of them are, in my opinion, overpriced, but at least you have your base price listed. But what they like to do is they'll hide the commercial usage fee in their TOS. And they'll do, like, a 100% to 200% markup for commercial use.
Yeah, so, like, I could probably find you an example within 2 minutes.
It's such a fucking bad thing there, and I talked about this years ago on stream. Like, if anybody, I don't know if anybody here will remember, because I don't know if anybody here was in the chat. Vivi remembers it, because Vivi, I think, was literally one of the people talking about it. But I complained about this years ago, where I thought it was ridiculous that this was a thing, because the entire point of going to a site like VGEN is to get assets for streaming, right? So if you're going to charge me for the art, putting a 200% bonus to use it as a profile picture or an asset on stream is, like, not even like for merchandise. For merchandise, I get it. Then they're making money off of it, whatever. Fine. Like, directly making money off of it, fine. But, like, just for, like, using it on stream, like, yeah, it helps with branding, and that does technically help with making money. But why am I using VGEN, which is literally for streamers, if you're gonna hide these markups in your TOS? Like, why would I do that? And it's not just a problem on VGEN. Like, Dean, you're an artist. I'm sure you've seen other artists do that.
I haven't.
Really?
No.
So maybe it really is just a VGEN problem then, because, like...
Yeah,
here you go, Hey, I found one already.
Ooh.
So, this one is... okay, from $1,200. It's a very high quality VTuber model, right? So, they have the breakdown of the prices and all the shit that they would do for add-on wise. Like, so, facial expressions are from $25, poses from $46, all that shit. But then if you go down, use. All copyright over the art will belong to the artist. You may not use my work for commercial purposes without my permission. Price will be adjusted for commercial use. Another $210.
So I'm having you draw my character that I designed. but you own full copyright to it, and then I have to pay an additional $200 to use it commercially.
Let me see if I can find another one.
Like,
Who
like,
the fuck is
Dean,
paying-
I don't know if
That's
you,
stupid.
like, Dean, does that make sense to you? Does that seem like a little crazy?
It definitely is. Just because, like, with shit like that, you are supposed to list that up front. That's something that's included in the pricing and shouldn't be hidden in TOS. But then again, it's fucking.
So, I will say,
have always been shit like that, regardless. But
yeah,
still, that's douchey.
I will say my issue is, like, I've seen, it's not just a VGen thing. There's a lot of Twitter artists that do this as well, where they have, cards or whatever, where they have the like, and by the way, I'm fine paying a commercial fee. Like, I don't mind paying a commercial fee, but 100%? 200%? Are you fucking crazy? Just for wanting to actually be able to use this stuff on my, like, social medias or whatever? Because that's what commercial usage means. It means, like, even just using it on, like, your social media. It doesn't even mean necessarily like you're making, like, merchandise off it. To them, it's like, if I'm using it on social media, that's commercial usage. And I think that's insane.
And I mean, that makes sense, but, like, paying to, specifically if it's just for social medias and shit, like, hey, I want to post this to, you know, state, hey, look, new
Here's another
thing
one.
I got.
Here's another one. So VTuber model from $1,200. All the details, all the add-ons, blah blah blah. Use, personal use, free, commercial use, plus 100% of your V already.
So that means it'd be $2,400 to use the VTuber model on stream, which is the entire point of getting a VTuber model for most people, by the way, is to stream with it. Or make videos with it.
That's insane.
Yeah, I feel like, I really kind of interrupted you. What were you saying, though, Dean? 'Cause I'm curious. I
apologize.
Curious.
I'm gonna be so for real, I forgot.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna be so fucking for real.
I just remember complaining about this years ago, but then I remember having people try to lecture me like, oh, well, you're not pro artist then if you're complaining about them doing that. It's like, no, because I use, like, Fiverr and shit, and I'm fine with them doing that on Fiverr. But here's the thing on Fiverr. They do the same thing where they hide it in the add-ons usually, right? But you have, so one, the add-ons are, one, not every artist on there does it. A lot of them do list their commercial uses up front. But the other thing is, the commercial use price on Fiverr is usually like 30 extra bucks. Or like 50 extra bucks. Not like, let's say I'm getting yeah, exactly. Like, let's say I'm getting a $150 art piece. On VGEN, that would be like 300 bucks usually. On Fiverr, it would be maybe $175, maybe $200, depending on, you know, how much the commercial usage fee is, right? And, like, that's $100 less because I'm not literally doubling the fucking price. And the express purpose of, like, VGEN was to be for streamers. Because the whole thing with VGEN was, it was the idea of, like, and this is where, like, kind of the story of VGEN kind of is. It's, like, it's specifically for content creators mostly.
See,
and the idea is that it's anti-AI, right? So there's no AI on VGEN.
my favorite thing is this person. They have a full body ready-to-rig VTube model. It's from $250. But then it says use. Personal and commercial use have different price ranges. Why?
Why? Why would you have personal use? What's the point of getting it?
What's the why are you paying $200?
Like, what is...
So look at
Like,
it!
okay, I can understand having a, like, if personal use means social media in this case.
Yeah, exactly.
I can understand, but at the same time, for specific artworks, if you are getting an actual piece of art, commission, just a flat image, it's nothing special, it's just an art piece, I can understand having a fee. I can understand justifying a fee for that if it's for commercial use specifically. Personal use, I don't personally see a reason.
Nice!
Commercial in this case, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing,
But
is
for something like a VTuber asset in any capacity, it doesn't make sense to have a fee at all.
This one gets me. I found another one. Live 2D model, $300, right? Right usage and credit. Client can use their work anywhere as long as they give credit to the artist. For commercial use, client can trade merch with existing designs. Does that just mean they can trade with people who have made their model, or are they trading for the commercial use of the model?
I don't even know what that means.
I'm so confused.
What was the wording on that again?
Repeat that? Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta find it. I lost it. Oh no! Oh no!
How did you lose it? You were just on it reading it.
I clicked away. For commercial use, client can trade merch with existing designs.
So, okay, so I think what that means is you can change the merchandise to have that artwork on it. So, I'm gonna be honest, I think I think that TOS is completely fine. I don't think that's a big deal. But
I can't tell if it's saying, like, that, or if it's saying, like, hey, you can give me pieces of your merch.
So, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's just like, are you saying to give me merch?
What really pisses me off about VGEN, though, is they allow people to, like, list the starting price as the lowest possible price, but then you go into the actual service options for it that they'll list, and it's like, so a half-body model is $300 that it starts at, but a full body is $850.
Yeah. To be fair, Fiverr does that too.
I feel like it just feels predatory.
Fiverr does that too, but I feel like they list it off better on Fiverr because you have all the packages right at the top right of your screen. So you can literally just click on them, check, and then leave.
Yeah, again, here's actually a very affordable looking one.
There's a crown!
Yeah, there's a gold crown large.
What
I
the
didn't
fuck?
even realize.
So,
Nice.
here's another, a very affordable, like, nice looking one that I might invest in the future. Model art, starting at $100. $230 for a half body and $300 for a full body, which is a pretty fair pricing in my opinion. But down at the bottom, use. You can use the artwork for personal use and streaming, but you will be charged an additional fee for commercial use.
Well, and it's like, why would you put that? Why are you putting it at the bottom? It should be one of the first things that you're telling people is that you're going to be charging them for extra commercial
You always
use.
have to read through their TOS. You can't just, like, read through their gig. You have to read the TOS,
Yeah, and
otherwise. Buying the copyright will be 300% of the commission fee.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the other thing... Here's my other issue with that. I'm so sick of artists trying to say they own the copyright to my, like, a piece of artwork of my character. Like, what the fuck do you mean you own the... Like, yeah, you made it, but that's my character still.
See,
like, I own that character.
This one is fair to me. This one is fair to me. Okay? $285 for a full body model. For commercial use of my art, a fee of $15 entire.
Yeah, like, that's fair. That's completely fair. And that's how it is on Fiverr usually, is they don't do the percentage thing. They'll be like, here's a flat, fuck, I'll even say this. Let's say you're getting a $300 commission. I think a $50 commercial fee on top of that is fair. If you're getting a $300 commission, for example.
Yeah, but if you're charging $500 for a V2 model, and then you're like, it's gonna be an extra 100% or 200% for commercial use, get fucked.
Yeah, like, that sucks.
What's the point?
Your art isn't worth that much.
Well, yeah,
that's
the problem is what's the... Okay, well, that's a really mean way of wording it, but I do kind of agree.
And
like,
I don't care.
What's...
I don't care. This is why I stick with one or two artists on Fiverr, and they work well with me because their art is fairly priced, and they do good.
Well, and that's kind of my point, is, like, Dean, like, again, what is the point? If I'm literally on a site that's supposed to be for VTubers, the entire point is I'm going to be on your website to commission for streams and social media and stuff. Why am you marking up my shit by like 100%? Or 200% just because I'm using it like on my stuff.
So this model art is $1,300. So all copyright over the art will belong to the artist. Clients can use my commission art on social media or streams.
Which that's fair.
A commercial use fee will be charged for merchandising. Current commercial use rights price, one-time purchase for any use, $200 up to $500.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. Change my mind.
That's not fair.
See,
I feel like with shit like that, when it comes to fees like that, commercial use fees, look at who is commissioning you.
Yes, the size of the person should matter.
If they are a big content creator of any capacity, you could charge them more. Because more people will see your shit, more people are more likely to buy the shit that might have it, content that revolves around the asset that you made, it makes sense. If it's a smaller individual, you don't need to fucking charge them a fucking kidney.
If it's somebody if it's somebody like even my size, fucking like a $50 fee at most.
I was about to say, I was gonna, that's exactly the price range I was gonna say. Like if, let's say like, I were to make something for you and I were to charge you a commercial fee. Okay, $50 max because you have a decent following, but you're not the biggest content creator.
And I've got to point out, by the way,
anything more than 50 is just
I gotta put up, by the way,
You are reaching.
really quickly, Dean's not talking out of his ass. Dean and I have worked together. Dean has literally made shit for the stream. All of the assets on the D&D stream, for the most part, outside of like the monster assets and shit, were made by Dean. Like, so it's like not even just Dean. It's not even just Dean moral grandstanding. Dean practices what he fucking preaches here. Like, so it's just I don't understand why other artists can't do the same. And I get like you need to make a living. I understand that. But like, I'm just not gonna buy it from you if it's that expensive. I'm sorry. Like, I can't afford to. There's
Everybody has their price ranges, but that ain't mine.
Yeah.
Is this just
Fuck that.
Well, and my other issue is like I posted an Utuna, by the way. That we'll do that next.
Okay.
My other issue is like you know, you want to talk about like people in the industry, you know, like not treating artists well or whatever. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the artists aren't exactly treating the average person very well either with prices like that. Like that is not fair for your average. Okay, let's pretend I'm not even a content creator, right? If I were to go and get like a meme commissioned or something, to be able to post it on social media, I'd have to pay double the price basically for most of these commissions. And like I think that's absurd. I think quote unquote personal use, and this is just my opinion, I think personal use should extend to social media. I think that's what personal use should mean.
That's what I consider personal use.
But the problem is these artists don't. They're like, oh, well, you're using it to build up your social media then, and you could make money off of that, so now it's commercial usage.
No.
And it's like, it really shouldn't be.
If you do not directly gain monetary value off of wherever you are posting it or showcasing it, it is not commercial use.
Yeah.
That is personal use.
Yeah, exactly.
God forbid I want to post an image I got on fucking like Instagram or something.
And I really have to stress this again. I feel like artists are really fucking disrespectful to like character designers and shit who make characters and then they draw the art of those characters. That person made that character, not you. That is their character.
Oh, and that's what I like about this. Like this one I found. What is it? So, it's starting at $5.75. It doesn't say the actual prices. But I like this. Intellectual property rights. The artist retains the copyright to the commissioned artwork, including the right to alter and share it on social media or use it in portfolios. The artist will not resell commissioned artworks without the commissioner's consent. Commissioners may not claim the artwork as their own creation. The commissioned artwork may not be used in NFTs, which is fair.
Yeah, it's fine.
Commercial usage fees, 100%, will apply for purchases such as direct resale, product merchandising, or other profitable uses. Physical or digital book covers, advertisement, commercial fees will not apply to non-commercial products.
So, and the issue right there, though, the issue right there, though, is advertisement. That means you can't post on social media anymore. That's the issue.
Well, what gets me is, commissioners may not claim the artwork as their own creation.
I think
I understand that means you can't say you drew it, but
yeah, that's your character still. Yeah, exactly. Well,
I don't think they would say you. Well, you can't say that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that in that case it's, hey, please just, this is your character and I understand that, but please do not say you drew this.
Yeah,
please do not say
you
made this. You made the character, but I made the art.
Yeah,
that's what they're trying
and I
to
think
say.
that's fair. Like, I think that's okay. To have in your TOS. Frankly, I don't think that you should be lying about drawing artwork like that isn't yours at all.
If you commission something and claim that you made it, not that you commissioned it, or rather that you got it drawn for you, whatever you want to word it as, you're just a dick if you try that.
Well, and
you're just a fucking cock.
Here's my other issue with prices, right? I'm looking at my Fiverr right now because I save a whole bunch of gigs because I'm an obsessive freak. And here's the thing. I
literally have like a list of like 75 gigs.
Here's my thing. Despite all this complaining, I love like the people I work with on like Fiverr, like my artists, and like the people in the community who do art for us. Like I fucking love these guys. Like they're fucking amazing. Great example though. We want to talk about prices. I have this guy I work with from Pakistan. Okay. He charges me. I really need to stress this right now. It is $60 for a. Not fully rigged, but it's got a basic rig. It is $60 for a low poly game-ready model with commercial use.
Yeah, that's
$60.
That's amazing.
That is what you're competing with, though, and that's what these artists don't fucking understand when they complain about, like, well, I'm not getting any commissions or whatever. It's like,
I wonder why.
You're competing with people.
Yeah, like,
who are like, I'm not gonna name any names, but you're competing with people who are doing artwork and 3D models and so on and so forth for prices that the average person can actually afford. Great example, I can afford a $60 commission. I can't afford a $300 3D model every single week.
Well, and that's why it's like, I can't, like, the person who did my reference sheet for my current model, that cost me $40 entire of my money.
Yeah.
Whereas there are people out there trying to sell reference sheets that aren't even, I'm sorry, of as good quality as the reference sheet that I have for like $400 or $500.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna name names either, but you're not gonna sell any. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't really know anybody personally who, at least, like, most people I know who do art personally are pretty good. Like, they make good quality stuff, and I think their stuff is worth a decent amount of money. But even if your stuff is worth that much money, like for example, like, let's just say Kuma doesn't do commissions. Let's pretend Kuma opened up like a Fiverr page, right? Kuma would not be able to get away with charging $200 per piece of art, even though I think his art is that good, personally. Like, I think his art is that good, but he would not be able to get away with that, because that's just not the way, like, if you're really looking at the way, like, Fiverr and small-time commissioning works, that's not the way, like, the industry, I guess, if you want to call it an industry, works. You have to be good counter, by the way, here. You have to be pricing your stuff lower if you're not a known name. If you're a big name, you're able to get away with more because you have that name brand, you know, associated with it.
Yeah.
But, like, even though, like, I dead-ass think Kuma's work is better than a lot of people's shit on Fiverr. Like, dead-ass. I actually think that. But I also know that if Kuma went on Fiverr and charged $100 for a piece of art, people wouldn't buy it. Because there's just so many, like, other artists who, even though their work might be a little bit lower quality, it's half the price. Kuma would have to do, like, you know, half the price, for example. And Kuma's an amazing artist. Like, Kuma's literally, again, I think he literally is better than some of the Fiverr artists I personally commissioned. And I stand by that. So, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, if people aren't buying from you, there's a point where you have to look at it and be like, you know, maybe I do need to lower my price. Like, the man hours are gonna suck, but maybe I do need to lower my price a little bit if this is like a side hustle I'm doing. You know? So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. The other thing that really annoys me about, like, VGEN is, like, so, the reason, this is why I want to get into this, the story of VGEN, quote-unquote. The reason why VGEN was kind of made, from what I understand, oh my god, I'm power clashing!
Oh.
I forgot that you could power clash for this one.
Well, you know.
The reason VGEN was made, Vivi, is because the art, and this is something that I don't like Fiverr's really doing, by the way. I don't really like that Fiverr's doing this. Fiverr is really pushing for AI usage. Really pushing for it. I don't love the fact that Fiverr's doing it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I prefer to work with real people, and I've literally been scammed on Fiverr now that they're so open with the AI usage. Now, I got my refund, I got my motherfucking money, so I'm not that worried about it. But somebody who is less, like, I guess, knowledgeable, who's just going to get something commissioned, may not realize that, oh, that's literally AI. And the guy who I got scammed by, quote-unquote, basically admitted, he was like, oh yeah, I used AI, I thought it was okay. And I said, no, I literally said not to use AI in the fucking, like, in our agreement before I, you know, before I commissioned you.
I mean, at least he did was, you know, apologetic, and at least he tried. Yeah,
he was, but the other problem is, like, other people are not going to be as honest. You know what I mean? Like, he was honest, like, oh, I thought it was okay. But the issue is, one, it wasn't okay. And two, if he's willing to do that, how many other people are willing to make something and then not tell you it's AI?
Yeah.
Or another thing, not even AI, stock photos edited together. Right? Because that's another really popular thing to do, is to edit stock photos together. People don't talk about that a lot, but before AI was a thing, that was the other issue that a lot of people had. Is people would get stock photos, and you could literally see the stock photo, like Shutterstock things, very faintly in the artwork, but the artists would do their best to hide them. Like that's another issue that people don't talk about as much, and that was not even like a AI thing. That was just an artist being shitty thing, which I think people forget is a thing that can happen.
Lib.
One second, let me get through the story and then. But the reality of the situation is VGEN was made to be kind of anti-AI, which is great and all, but you're not doing your cause any favors. I knocked it out of the water. When you're kind of behaving like that, because what's going to happen is random people from the outside looking in, not in the creator space, are going to be like, well, why the fuck should I work with an artist who is kind of being dishonest about, like, the actual full price of this until I read the bottom of their TOS? Why would I not just use an AI model? Like, that's what random people are going to think. That's not what I think, but that is what random people are going to think. What were you going to say, Vivi?
Oh, nothing. I posted in our DMs. For the topicals that showed up on my For You page.
Okay.
What if I bought the one on the right?
I joined to that.
Well, we've been talking about VGEN hiding their commercial usage pricing, like in TOS, Death Guy. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. So you joined in, right?
I had soft music play. I'm like, okay, it's time to see what my friends are.
Yeah, well, wait till you.
Really physically hit
I'm gonna be honest. I think that the online artist space is in the worst state it's been in fucking years. Like right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's rough.
Like you have people who are. I try not to judge people for what they charge on art, but I'm just gonna outright say it. You're overpricing your shit a lot of the time, especially for the size you are. If you don't have a big name, you have to be careful with the way you're pricing stuff. You know, you have the whole AI debacle. The only thing that gets me about the AI debacle, by the way, and I know you're not on Twitter a lot, Dean, so you probably don't see it as much, but when artists are like witch hunting people using AI, and they go after somebody who's not using AI at all, but they still witch hunt them like they are.
I've been worried that people have been doing that because that's something that's like every now and then I think about, like, would this happen? Probably.
It's worse than you think. Every day a big creator, quote unquote, is getting like exposed for it. Where that's like, oh, this person's using AI, but then the quote unquote proof, there's like no actual proof, and then like the person has a full like video of them drawing the artwork.
Yeah.
So and it's like, and that happens a lot. It's dead. Holy shit, we fucked that guy up. And that's happening a lot lately. And it's like, again, like you're talking about, you know, artists and whatnot, who are trying to, you know, be anti-AI and make, you know, do artwork and whatnot. Well, you have all these compounding issues of, you have, like, for example, the VGEN pricing thing, where you're charging 200% extra for commercial use. Even posting it on social media is an additional $100 for some of these commissions. So you have that. And then you have artists witch hunting each other. Oh, this person used AI. If you use AI, you should kill yourself. Shit like that. And it's just like, you're not making, like, all of these different compounding things. Whether or not you like AI, like, the way you criticize it affects how people outside of the sphere see it. And when you act like a fucking lunatic about it, people who aren't in the industry see you act like a lunatic about it, and they roll their eyes, they don't care. Likewise, when you accuse the wrong people of using AI, when you start witch hunting people, and it happens all the time, like, it's so bad in the VTuber sphere especially. Be glad you're not a VTuber, Dean. You would probably want to kill yourself, I'm gonna be honest. I'm speaking from experience.
I know, like, getting an avatar and that sort of a style, I guess, concept, that's a concept, not style. It's something I want to do, but I'm not gonna fucking revert to myself as a fucking VTuber.
Well, I know, and it's like, I kind of hate that I've adopted the VTuber moniker, because I really do prefer just being called, like, a content creator, because that's really what I am, is I make slop and people...
I'm just a dude, I ain't nothing.
The piggies eat it up. I think calling yourself a content creator if you're actually making stuff online is fair. I think it's better than influencer. It's better than VTuber.
Yeah.
Like, I think content creator is fine. And also I think content creator in my case is fair because I'm actually, like, you know, I have, like, my website. I have, I have, like, the game I'm working on now. I've got my book coming out next week. You know, like I'm literally making quote unquote content, as cringe as that sounds. And then obviously streaming and whatnot to a lesser degree. I really do think streaming is more just dancing on a podium like a clown. But you have all these artists like witch hunting people who are actual artists, not using AI. And one, what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn. We're gonna do Artfeld next.
Gotcha.
You're gonna turn the people who are like kind of sitting in the middle, you know, where they don't really hate AI, but they don't really like AI. If you're telling people who use AI to like kill themselves and shit and acting like super over the top, you're gonna like turn those people against you, where they could have maybe been, you know, convinced to be like, no, I don't really like this either, before. But then also likewise, when you're going after the wrong people, you're proving the AI bros right. You're proving the AI bros who are like, oh, no one's gonna care. Nobody's gonna even be able to tell the difference. Because when you are in the industry and you yourself can't tell the difference, you've just justified everything that they've been saying. So you're self-defeating. It's not good. And it's really fucking frustrating to see. So it's just really fucking hard. And I get, like, again, if people don't like AI, I'm all for them, you know, calling it out and not liking it or whatever. Like, again, I don't use AI. I work with real artists. That's always been my thing. But you gotta be kind of, I don't know, like, it feels like a lot of times they're hurting themselves in their own confusion. Where they're getting mad about this, and they're ranting and raving, and then it's like, wait, but that person actually wasn't using AI. And you're an artist, and you couldn't tell the difference. What the fuck does that mean for the rest of us? Like, I'm a monkey. How am I gonna be able to tell? Like, I'm an actual ape. I'm fucked. So, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, between the AI, between the way artists are treating each other, between, the other problem is working with, like, artists on, like, Twitter. They have this horrible, because I worked with a couple artists on Twitter, they have this horrible habit of just ghosting you until the work is done. Which is awful. Because when you pay somebody to get work done, and they don't respond to your messages for, like, a month and a half, Jesus. You kind of get worried. Think, huh, maybe they took my money and left. Should I charge this back? And that's another big issue that people don't really talk about, is just, like, decorum. Yeah, a lot of these people are not very professional. With the way they do it. So, it's just a compounding set of issues, and it kind of sucks, because, again, I like working with actual artists. I don't mind paying people to get good shit done. Like, I am perfectly willing to pay people to get shit done. I paid Dean. I paid Kuma. Like, I've gotten shit done before for people even in the community. I don't mind doing that, but it's just when you're charging 200% extra for commercial usage, or you know, when you're ranting and raving on Twitter about how everybody who does
motherfucker.
That's really funny. I did not do that. I don't know why it went down.
Because somebody popped the wound on his head.
Not me.
It was still there.
Yeah, the wound was still there.
I just popped it when he fell down.
Yeah, it was
still
there.
I like the fact that he immediately, it wasn't me! I didn't do it!
It actually, to be fair, it actually wasn't him. I'll defend him here. I saw him pop it after it went down. I don't know why that ride ended, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because I wasn't even hitting him, Dean. I was just chilling. Huh. The more you know. But yeah,
personally clipped that. I will be looking after to see what the fuck happened.
I think I was hitting it a little bit, but I wasn't like, I didn't burst anything.
Well, it definitely popped.
I don't know. I don't know. I personally clipped that. Bro is a fucking detective.
Look, okay, I need to know for my own fucking sanity. Because I barely hit him in that
I know, that's why I was so confused.
Usually you're able to at least get, like, I don't know, a minute on the ride. That wasn't even, like, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know either. That was really weird. Oh, no! Oh,
that was something.
No! Leave me alone! Hey, latent power activated. Never mind. Fuck you, bitch! Die! I got 2 minutes to do as much damage as possible. Yeah, no, I don't know. Shit's just weird lately, man. I feel really bad for any, like, artist starting out now. Who just, like, imagine being, like, a teenage artist right now. Just not knowing much about the internet or whatever. And coming on to do stuff, and it's just fucking unhinged and crazy.
What gets me fucked up about this art shit is not only the VGEN stuff, but, like, even on Twitter, like, you'll see people, you know, they'll draw up these characters and they'll make them adoptables so you can buy them and then create a model with them later in life. But they'll do it to where you either pay a personal use fee or you have to pay like double for commercial rights.
Yeah, it's like, why am I buying an adoptable that is meant to be used on stream once again? Like,
I don't know. I feel like when it comes to shit like that, when it comes to assets such as, again, anything VTuber related, whether it's goodbye.
oh my god, he's dead! Oh my god, he's dead!
Damn.
Whether it's like an actual model or like clothing assets,
I might be too.
accessory assets, whatever have you, if it's intended to be used in a VTuber sense, I feel like it should be stated that commercial use is, I don't fucking know,
Included
in the outright price.
Yeah, you know what's great about working with 3D modelers who know you're gonna put your shit into a game that you're probably gonna sell? You know what's great about that? They don't charge you anything extra.
Yeah.
They like, I don't understand why they get that, but like these fucking artists on like Twitter or like, I am watching the little tiny fucking raptors bite the shit out of Archibald.
Yeah, they latch on. It's really fucking cool.
Oh my god!
They're doing
Holy
it
shit!
now.
Holy fuck!
Yep.
They jump at him!
They just keep
Take
going.
him off. It's good.
They jump at his ass! Get him, boys! Oh, fuck you, Archibald! Yeah, I don't get how, like, these random 3D artists from fucking Pakistan get it. But then, like, a fucking clashing! A random artist from Twitter doesn't get it. I just don't get it.
Okay.
But, whatever, man. I don't know.